All right. Today we're going to learn about algebraic expressions. So in your notebook, write down your I can statement for the night. I can use the order of operations to generate equivalent algebraic expressions. So remember when we say order of operations, we mean that PEMDAS process that we learned about a few chapters ago.
Okay, an algebraic expression. An algebraic expression is a math phrase. So you see these phrases on the right. It's part of a phrase I always like to think of in reading is just part of a sentence. A math phrase is part of a number sentence that might usually have an equal sign. An algebraic expression does not have an equal sign or an inequality sign. This symbol right here is an inequality sign. That's a greater than or less than symbol. Also, algebraic expressions combine numbers, operation signs, and sometimes variables. So this is a great example of an algebraic expression that combines all three of those things.
Okay, so here are examples of algebraic expressions, as well as some expressions that are not algebraic expressions. These two over here, I can tell are algebraic expressions because they have operate a symbol of operation and a variable. Symbol of operation and a variable.
And numbers.
And numbers.
Yeah.
And there's also no equal sign or no inequality sign. And then over here, you'll see that we have some non-algebraic expressions. And I know that because I see an equal sign as well as an inequality sign. So this one is actually what we call an equation. And this one would be an inequality.
Okay, we're going to go through an example quick before we share about the steps for finding or for solving and generating an expression. And we thought it would be helpful for you to see an example first. So in this number sentence, it says, or number story, it says, Jack gets a $5 raise per week. His allowance is now. So if Jack gets a $5 raise, that's telling me that I need to add his allowance before, and he gets $5 more. So the expression would be Jack's new allowance would be 5 plus whatever he was making before the raise. So this is a number expression, an algebraic expression that would match the story.
Okay, here you'll see we have a chart that will that will give you some ideas and some clues about which operation symbol to use. So make sure at some point you pause the video and copy this chart in your notebook. You'll see the symbols going down the side for addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, as well as on the right side all of the keywords, not all of the keywords, but some of the most common keywords that you'll see when using or when trying to figure out what operation symbol to use. So when you're thinking about addition, some of the keywords are more than, raise, older, rises, increases, goes up, climbs, and grows. Some of the keywords for subtraction are less than, reduce, younger, decrease, dropped, change, decline, or take away. Multiplication, you'll see 3 times as much, or any other number, 2 times as much, 4 times as much, times for each, twice, or the word by. And then some of the keywords for division are divide evenly, cut, split, half, which means you're going to divide it in 2, each, every, split, or the word shared.
Okay, so there's a few steps we'd like you to follow when generating or writing an algebraic expression. The first step is to circle the number that will be in your expression. Next, underline keywords. Those are those keywords that Miss Maynard just told us about that you're going to find in the number story that you read. And then last, pick a variable to replace what you don't know.
So in this example, if Sarah grows 3 inches, what is her new height? So now I know what number I need to use. And then I need to find my keyword, grows, and that keyword is under the addition section. And what I'm trying to figure out is, what is Sarah's new height? So an equation I might think of is, I want to figure out the new height. And what does that equal to? Well, it's her old height plus 3 inches. So my expression is just h plus 3.
Okay, here's another example. Esteban is 30 years younger than his dad. How old is Esteban? Okay, so we're working with the number 30, and let's look for a keyword. Esteban is 30 years younger. Okay, younger would be the keyword. When I look back at those keywords, younger we use when we need to subtract. Okay, so I know I need to subtract. And I'm trying to find out how old is Esteban. So for my equation, I'm going to write write out the name Esteban, because that's what I'm trying to find out. So I need to use the number 30, and I need to subtract. And it says he's 30 years younger than his dad. So I'm going to write a D for dad. I'm choosing D for the variable. So Esteban is 30 years younger than his dad. And next I'm going to write it as an expression. So I'm going to take away what I'm trying to find out and the equal sign and just simply write 30 minus D for dad. Miss Maynard, does this make sense, 30 minus D?
Well, if we think about it, we're trying to find the dad's age, then subtract it by 30 to find Esteban's age. So we're assuming that the dad is older than 30.
Oh,
so then
okay.
30 minus D would get us at a negative number, which wouldn't make sense for our problem.
Yeah, maybe his dad is 40 years old. So we would want to have the D first, then minus 30. So always, when you're following those steps, be sure at the end to make sure that your expression makes sense. So ask yourself, does it make sense after you record your expression? Okay, it's not working. Uh-oh.
I clicked on the picture, didn't I?
Whoopsie. Okay.
Whoopsie.
Here we go.
And here's your homework question number 1. Carter had 3 times as many books as Jamie. Which expression shows how many books Carter has? Hint, use J for Jamie and C for Carter.
Okay.
Make sure you circle the number that you need, write down the keyword that you're going to use to find that operation symbol to help you.
Okay, we've got a long one next. Pedro, Sam, and Jake like to play video games. Pedro and Sam work together to get points. Jake gets twice as many points as Pedro and Sam get. Write an expression to show how many points Jake gets. Okay, so I see that there isn't a number, but I see that twice is in the number story, and twice I know means times 2. So the number that I'm going to work with is 2. And if it's twice as many, that's my keyword as well. What I'm trying to find out is how much Jake gets. So I'm going to write Jake in an equal sign. Okay, so Jake gets twice as many points, that's times 2, as Pedro and Sam get. So first I need to know what Pedro and Sam get, and then do that times 2. And when I think about PEMDAS, first, when I do something first, it's in parentheses. So in parentheses, I'm going to write P plus S for Pedro and Sam. And then it says that Jake gets twice as many. So next I'm going to do times 2. All right, and when I write it as an expression, I'm going to get rid of that equal sign. So Jake gets, it's just Pedro plus Sam and then times 2. And when I look at this, it makes sense. So we're ready to move on to the next one.
Oh,
Miss Maynard hit the picture again. Whoopsie.
sorry. And here's homework question 2. Franco, Ramon, and Sean scored all of the goals in the game. Sean scored half as many goals as Franco and Ramon put together. Sean scores ... Choose the answer that you think is best. Hint, use F for Franco, R for Ramon, and S for Sean.
Okay, that's all for tonight. Good luck on your homework questions, and we'll see you tomorrow.